Hey there, champs. Welcome to PRO Wrestle Insider, your WWE update station. Hit that bell and let's step into the ring. WWE Universe, tonight's Raw delivered one of the most shocking moments of the entire year. After weeks of mystery, non-stop speculation, and dangerous backstage attacks, Roman Reigns finally appeared on Raw with a message that changed everything. In a tense face-to-face confrontation, the tribal chief revealed the identity of the hooded man responsible for the chaos, a figure connected not by accident, but by intention. Roman called him the Future, signaling a shift in Raw's balance of power. And after tonight, nothing will ever be the same again. Raw opens with unfinished business and growing tension. Tonight's episode of WWE RAW began with a sense of unease that had been lingering for weeks. With recent attacks on CM Punk, Rey Mysterio, and LA Knight still fresh in everyone's minds, no one backstage felt safe. The mysterious hooded attacker had turned Raw into his hunting ground, assisting the Vision whenever they were in danger and disappearing before anyone could confront him. Fans expected more chaos, but no one expected the tribal chief himself to walk into the center of this storm, especially not with an announcement powerful enough to shift the entire Raw landscape. Roman Reigns enters backstage with a mission. The backstage area froze the moment Roman Reigns stepped through the curtain. This wasn't the tribal chief from championship celebrations. This was a man walking with a purpose, calm, controlled, and carrying the weight of a statement he had waited weeks to deliver. Cameras followed him as he moved through the hallway, not acknowledging staff or superstars, creating a sense of tension that grew with every step. The message was clear. He wasn't here for theatrics or confrontation. He was here to talk about the masked man who had turned Raw upside down. The locker room confrontation begins. When Roman entered the main backstage area, several Raw superstars stood nearby, all curious, all confused, and all waiting for answers. The attacks had shaken the locker room, and suspicion was beginning to turn into fear. Roman didn't waste time. He demanded everyone listen. For the first time since Survivor Series War Games, someone of authority, not management, not the Vision, not commentary, addressed the masked man directly. Roman Reigns was here to bring clarity to the chaos, and the room fell silent as he prepared to speak about the ongoing attacks. A Mystery Weeks in the Making Roman recapped what the entire WWE Universe had witnessed. The masked man appearing during War Games to help the Vision win, the attacks on Rey Mysterio, CM Punk, and LA Knight, and the way the hooded figure seemed to know exactly when and where to strike. Everyone had theories, from Seth Rollins to Austin Theory to countless other names, but no one had answers. Roman acknowledged the confusion, the speculation, and the growing fear, but said he had come to put an end to the guessing. Roman reveals. This was no rogue attacker. Roman paced slowly, eyes fixed on the camera, and explained that the hooded attacker wasn't acting alone. He wasn't targeting superstars because of personal grudges or random motivations. He wasn't some frustrated wrestler trying to get attention or a vigilante wandering Raw without direction. Roman said this man was chosen, not found, trained, not improvised, and most importantly, he was connected to Roman himself. The room shifted with shock. Roman Reigns wasn't distancing himself from the masked attacker. He was claiming responsibility for him. The hooded man steps into the light. At Roman's signal, the hooded figure stepped out of the shadows. His mask glowed under the backstage lights, creating an eerie visual that sent murmurs through the crowd of wrestlers watching nearby. He didn't speak. He didn't need to. His presence was enough. Roman stood beside him in full acknowledgement, making it clear that this man was not a threat to him, but an extension of his message. The hooded figure stood tall, shoulders squared, showing that he was not hiding, only waiting for the right moment to be introduced. Roman declares him the Future. With the hooded man beside him, Roman finally delivered his message. He said this attacker wasn't hired muscle, wasn't a mercenary, and wasn't just someone mimicking Seth Rollins' moves. Roman looked directly into the camera and declared, This man is the future. Those words were heavy. They weren't praise. They were prophecy. Roman framed the masked man not as a temporary storyline twist, but as someone who would shape Raw for months and years to come. He suggested the attacks weren't random, but preparation. A warning shot for the entire roster. Why Roman's involvement changes everything. By aligning himself with the masked man, Roman transformed the entire situation. What was once assumed to be a vision-related mystery now expanded into something far bigger. Roman Reigns, the architect of some of the most dominant eras in WWE history, was endorsing a new force. And Roman never endorses anyone without meaning. His declaration shifted the narrative. This masked man wasn't simply assisting the vision. He was being molded, protected, and positioned by Roman himself. The implication was clear. Raw's balance of power had officially shifted. The attacks gain new meaning. Now the stomp delivered to CM Punk, the ambush on Rey Mysterio, the attack on LA Knight, all of it took on new weight. The masked man wasn't just causing chaos, he was eliminating obstacles. He was targeting the veterans, the threats, the main event stars who stood in the way of Roman's broader vision for WWE. His actions weren't random, they were calculated stepping stones. Roman's future needed a clear path, and these attacks ensured that path stayed unobstructed. The WWE Universe is left with new questions. Even with Roman's declaration, many questions remain unanswered. Who is this masked man really? Is he a new talent, a returning star, someone being rebuilt into something larger? Roman didn't reveal the name, meaning the identity remains shrouded in mystery. But now, the mystery is tied directly to Roman Reigns, not just the vision. This adds layers of intrigue, uncertainty, and potential conflict. If the vision recruited him first, and Roman now claims him, is there a power struggle quietly forming behind the scenes? Who will the masked man target next? Roman warned that the masked man's work is far from over. The roster may think they've seen the worst of him, but Roman hinted otherwise. This creates endless possibilities for the upcoming weeks. Will CM Punk attempt payback? Will LA Knight confront Roman for endorsing the man who blindsided him? Will the Vision try to claim the masked man as their own? Or will Roman deploy him like a controlled weapon, letting him strike at anyone who threatens Roman's long-term vision for WWE? A turning point for Raw's entire landscape. The moment Roman made this reveal, Raw's storyline direction sharpened dramatically. No longer is the masked man a fringe narrative or a background mystery. He is now directly tied to one of WWE's greatest leaders. That connection elevates him, complicates alliances, and sets Raw up for major confrontations in the coming weeks. Whether fans trust Roman's intentions or fear them, one thing is clear. This masked man is positioned to be one of the most disruptive forces WWE has seen in years.